Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is the latest box we've gotten from Comic Garage, one of the numerous blind boxes out there that sells you a box of goodies. You don't necessarily know what's inside. In this case, it's comics, so we kind of know what's inside. Now, Comic Garage is one that got advertised through Amazon. That's where I first saw it, and it's one of the numerous subscription boxes that's run through that service. Thought I'd give it a shot. We did the first box. To say I was disappointed with the first box is an understatement. But maybe that was a fluke, so we'll try a second box and go from there. Of course, giving the honest opinion of what I thought. The first box, the issue I had was the fact that it was mostly new comics. The amount that you got, like, you get a lot of comics, I'm not going to deny that, but it was also mostly stuff in, like, the 2000s. And now if you go to their page and read things through, it's like, you get comics from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and 2000s, and I think there was, like, one comic from the 90s. So, that's not good. Now, there's been a lot of other services out there that are similar that sell you a whole bunch of comics and have a much better mix of what you get. Just my opinion. We've covered some of them. A bunch of them are out of business, unfortunately. I mean, hell, even the Groupon that I bought that I, like, panned because it was nothing what they advertised, or at least the value wasn't what they advertised. I thought that even had a better mix than this first Comic Garage. We'll open up the second Comic Garage. We're going to show off what's inside, and that's it. Give my honest opinion. All I can do is be honest, right? That's what we're here for. So, if you want to check them out, you can go to thecomicgarage.com. Now, so the one thing I will give the slight thing to them is you get to pick what you want. If you put characters or publishers, stuff like that, they'll try to get you comics of those characters and publishers. I just kind of went with anything because I personally think that is the better way to go about it, and you get to see the choices and the type of picks of what you really get as far as a box. So, let's kick things off. We got something from '96. We actually get into the '90s. Supergirl. Was not reading Supergirl and DC in the 90s, so definitely something new to me. That's not necessarily a bad thing at all. And that's the way I look at a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff is just, you know, fun stuff to read, like one comic, just enjoy. I do remember Final Night, but, you know, Peter David, Gary Frank, Cam Smith, it's a good combo and should be an entertaining comic. We got GASA Classified, should be interesting. 2006, so early 2000. Peter Tomasi is, I think, an awesome writer, so I'm happy with that one. So what do we got? We got Superman Action Comics, DC Rebirth, 958, fairly recent comic. Should be within the last year or two. I think 2 years. This would be early kickoff, I think, of Rebirth, because he's fighting Doomsday, which was, like, I think one of the first things he did. Interesting enough, the comic is, like, got a little damage to the side, so 2016, a little dog-eared, so condition is, it's okay. It's reading copy. We'll go with that. What was it? Dan Jurgens wrote it. Dan Jurgens is awesome. I love Dan Jurgens stuff. Really nice dude, too. Deathstroke at number 20. What run is this? Or when was this one? This is a good question as to when this one was. So this was released 2016. Another 2016. So again, this is kind of what we ran into before. It was like 2016 stuff. We got Aquaman, Childhood's End. Dan Jurgens, Steve Epting, Norm Rathman. This should be actually really good. So this is 2000. Again, Dan Jurgens I'd be happy to read. I'm good with that. And then Steve Epting is a very talented artist. He does some really good stuff. So this will be cool. Definitely did not read that. Happy with that. We got Huntress Year One, first issue. First issue, number 1. Awesome. Love to see first issues in there. You can get in, dive in. Don't have to worry about back issues. 2008. We've not read this. We got Ivory Madison, and then Cliff Richards is the penciler with Art Thibbert on ink. Haven't read it. New to me. Cool. Not, 2010s. Happy with that. Doom Patrol, Weight of the World, DC's Young Animal. Yeah, this one is fairly recent. I mean, we covered it for our site. Yeah, I mean, this would be 2019. Back in the recent. Avengers 2 Ultimates. Mark Millar. Controversial writer. I actually skipped the Ultimates. That was, or the whole that whole Ultimate line of comics. I've read some of it here and there, never dove into a whole lot. It kind of was going on when I was slightly out of comics. So I do need to go back and check it out. You know, I've always heard very mixed things. It's either really, really good or really, really horrible. So, should be interesting to check that out. If you got suggestions as to where to go with the Ultimates, let me know. We got Jessica Jones number 13, Legacy, Return of the Purple Man, Part 1. Part 1's for stories is always a good thing. Jessica Jones was absolutely fantastic as a comic. Brian Michael Bendis killed it on that. And then, of course, we got Michael Gaydos and Matt Hollingsworth as the art team. That's all good. This actually would be a good comic. I'm pretty sure I've already read it, though. Also pretty recent. We got Rebels, number 25, April 2011. We got Bedard, St. Aubin, Hana. Cool. So it says, so we got 2010s are in there. Anything in the 2010s, I'm not super happy about. You know, if you're going to go and advertise stuff in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and all that, we need some 70s, 80s, 90s. We got Convergence, 6 of 8. I definitely own this. I absolutely own this. And that's all we're going to say about that. Ragman, number 2. Here we go. 1991. We're getting to the 90s. That's good. So that's what, 2 comics in the 90s? 2 out of whatever number is there. Revenge is Sweet. Ragman's a character I don't know a lot about. So this is number 2 in an 8-issue series. Let's see here. Keith Giffen is the breakdowns. Robert Lorne Fleming is the script. Pat Broderick is the art. Pat's a really nice guy. I don't think I've met the other ones. Colored by Anthony Tolan, Adrian Roy, letter by Albert de Guzman. I don't know. Anyone got good Ragman stories? I've heard really good things. I'm pretty sure Jewish character. Probably someone should check it out. Maybe to read some stuff up. So if you got some good Ragman stories for me to read, let me know. That would be good. We got Legion of Superheroes, New 52. Paul Levitz, nice person. Another nice person. Scott Collins. I mean, it's New 52, so this is going to be early 2000s. Let's see here. 2013. Was it that? 2013. Okay. I was going to say, it felt like it's about 10 years ago. Magog, number 2 from 2009. Definitely skipped this. This was not my thing. Keith Giffen. I'm going to go Howard Porter as the artist. Yeah, Howard Porter, penciler, John Dell, inker, Hi-Fi Colors, Travis Lanham is the letter. Nice. Good combo of creators. Definitely worth checking out, I guess. If someone's telling me no to run, let me know. Don't waste the time. I will appreciate that. District X, number 4. David Hine, Lan Medina, Alejandro Sigat. What year is this? What do we guess in year of this? Anyone? Bueller? Got guesses? I actually don't know. 2004. Early 2000s. District X. Again, wasn't really reading a lot of comics around then. Mostly because couldn't afford them and didn't have a place to store them. A little transient at that point in time. So, yeah, I need to check it out. I think I have the trades. Ultimate Nightmare number 3. Warren Ellis, Steve Epting. Interesting. Anyone? Tell me. Good, bad, sound off. I mean, Ultimate, as I said, I did not read the stuff. Kind of missed that whole thing. Never went back and checked it out when I got back into comics. This is 2004, early 2000s on that one. Weird World. Jason Aaron, Mike Del Mundo, Marvel's Event when Doom reshaped reality. This should be within the last 10 years, right? Where are we going with this one? Anyone predict? Let's go guess the year. Anyone? Going once, going twice. 2015 is the answer. I remember Weird World was pretty decent storyline. There we go. Fantastic Four, 369. We actually get something from the 80s. What year is this? 1992. We get something from the 90s. I should have guessed with Malice being on the cover. That was such a 90s thing, not an 80s thing. It's an Infinity War crossover. Let's see here. Paul Ryan, Tom DeFalco, plot, pencil, script. Dan Bolanati is the inks. Yeah. Morelli Going is the letters and colors. Interesting. I feel like I got this in another box, but I could be wrong. Still, like, I wasn't reading Fantastic Four back then, so this will be a new one. It's probably new for my collection. I think. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out eventually when I organize everything. Jason Aaron, Conan the Barbarian. Jason Aaron's Conan run is awesome. Like, it's a great thing. If you've not read it, check it out. Third issue of that. I mean, this was recent as well. This would be maybe year or two old, if that. 2019. I was close. I was actually pretty solid on that one. This actually was a fantastic run, but I've read it. That's why I know it's a fantastic run. Godzilla, Rulers of Earth, from DW Publishing, number 22. Never read it. I'm not really a Godzilla fan, so not really something that would interest me. It's 2015. Again, we're in the tens on that one. If someone can win me over on the Godzilla, like, I like the films. The films are decent, but I've never got into the comics. And even the films, like, I just, like, put them out. I was not a big, giant Godzilla fan. So if you got something I should check out and, like, give me reasons why I should do Godzilla, like, please let me know. We got Constantine, the Hellblazer, James Tynion IV. Hot Rider, really popular now. This is some of his earlier work, I believe. This will be, I'm going to guess the date. Anyone? 2016. It is the 10s. Not a lot for the 90s and 80s and the 70s as promised. All right, Hot Shots number 1 from Gail Simone, David Baldeon, and Jim Cheralamapidis. I'm sorry. This was actually a good series. Generally overlooked. It was fun. If you can get the trade, read it. You know, a bunch of women kicking ass and, you know, shooting up and trying to save the world. This was fun. This was like a nice teen book. Definitely overlooked and did not get the love it should have. All right, series I definitely know on this. Brian Wood, David Lapham, DMZ number 59. I absolutely have this. I loved DMZ when it came out. 2011. There's a television series being worked on. I can't wait for that to happen. So cool on that one. Definitely own it because I own it. Ooh, okay, all right. We're getting down to a nice, better mix. All right, we're going to leave the last one there, but we got Superman in Action Comics Annual number 5, Bloodlines Earth Plague. Remember, Bloodlines was like a thing where they wanted to introduce a whole bunch of new characters to DC Comics, and they did it in the annuals. And I also remember it being really generally bad, and I don't think many of the characters lasted beyond the annuals. So that should tell you everything on that one. It's got Visor Superman. We got the Eradicator Superman, which I kind of dug. It was in the 90s. We had horrible taste in the 90s when it came to comics. Yeah, what's this? Is Jeff Loeb? Where's the? I want the full. Oh, you can smell the 90s paper on this. It's got that nice old comic smell to it. Yeah, Jeff Loeb writer, Lee Motors, the penciler, Joseph Rubinstein, Jose Marzan Jr., Terry Beatty are the inkers, Albert de Guzman is the letterer, or de Guzman. Yeah, I mean this was interesting. This is like Batman Returns time. You get some fun stuff. Adventures of Superman number 500, a bag collector edition, a whole $3. You can get that in probably quarter bins now. Let's see what else. Let's see what else is there. We got the Image swimsuit special, Marvel swimsuit special. Definitely got those because I was a teenager and that's what I bought. Spawn number 1 through 4, $15 a piece. Spawn number 5, $10. Those are steals, folks. That's I actually really dig that. That's kind of fun going back into the old comics with that. All right, so what year was this? Did we look that up? Oh, it's right on the cover, right? Then we talk about it. 1993. There we go, 1993. So we got a bunch of comics from the 90s at least, which is good. There's been some stuff from the 90s. Much better than the first box. I'm already going to give this credit. It's much better than the first box. This is the final one. We got the double-sized Milestone issue of Ghost Rider number 25. Number 25. What year? Let's look at this one. Let's try to figure out the year on this. So 1992, because it's got the 30th right there of the Incredible Hulk. I definitely have this. I was a sucker for this crap when it came out. I'm sorry calling it crap, but you know, foil cover, special issues, 25, number 50s, 50th anniversaries, 10th anniversaries, special double chromium, whatever. Yeah, I was a sucker on that one. Because it was a whole $2.75. It's a whole $2. Plus you get cool stuff like this. This inner piece of art featuring Ghost Rider and... Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the money shot, folks. They don't do this in comics anymore. You just don't see that sort of quality. I definitely have this in my collection just because, as I said, I was a sucker and bought stuff like that just because it was coming out. Howard, I couldn't tell you what the quality is. What was this? I mean, it's issue 25, so should be interesting. I'm gonna guess there's a lot of fights. Howard Mackey, writer, Ron Wagner, penciler, Mike Witcherby's the inker, Janice Ching is the letterer. Interesting. All right, so my opinion is the first box I got was absolutely horrible. This next box is much better. I still think it's overpriced for what you get. Most of the stuff you'd find in the quarter bin, so you're way overpaying. You might as well just go hit up your local comic shops, and ask if they got a quarter bin that you can go through, a 50-cent bin. You can get as many comics for like half the price, if that. Most shops have that sort of thing, are very happy to sell you those comics. So is it really worth it? I don't know. There's for me, not really. This is leans a bit too heavy in the 2000s and 2010s. If there was more in the 70s and 80s and even maybe 90s, I would be happy. But while this had much more 90s comics, it's just still not quality for me. So that's a no for me, dog. To quote a poet, that's a no. So I'll wind up canceling my subscription, and we'll go find something else we can check out. Sound like a plan? If you disagree with me, you can go get your own at thecomicgarage.com, or we've got the Amazon link beneath this video. It's an affiliate link. By doing that, you help support our site, so thank you and appreciate that. As always, we really appreciate you watching. If you want the latest comic news, reviews, whatever, hit us up at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.